Hello and welcome to ProSell TV. Okay, it's great to see Simon Bermon here from the post office. He's a senior sales development consultant for them, and today we're going to talk about customer service, particularly in light of 2012 Olympics. How important customer service is going to be to us? Can we keep ahead of the race for best customer service? What's it look like? So, Simon.
Well, I think it's potluck actually. In this country, it's potluck. I mean, I love to go on holiday to the States, take the family, and you know what customer service is because people go out their way to make you happy. Yeah. But I think it's potluck here, okay. And I mean, I could just relate to recent experiences at my local supermarket.
Okay.
It's getting on 10 minutes to closing time, and of course, closing time on a Sunday is when you get people out. You know, they have their lie-ins and they want to go do their shopping. So what does the supermarket do? It closes the tills just as the people want to check out. So all of a sudden the queues are building, and I'm thinking, well, hang on, does this business, does it want me as a customer?
Yeah.
And I think that's where we're falling down, because people don't see customer service in the right light.
How do you feel we compare with the States? The States are often heralded as the solution to customer service, you know, the ultimate service.
Well, it's interesting, going back to my my youth and working in an American company as a student. I did find it a bit of a pain with the have a nice day syndrome. However, I think that's just the cherry on the cake, not even the icing. I think actually the ethos is you're there to try and make that customer happy. Whether you say have a nice day or not, what do you actually mean? Yeah. So if at the end of the day that customer is happy when they leave your store or your restaurant, as it was in my case, then saying have a nice day is irrelevant. Yeah. So people don't like the cheesy bit. One, because they don't expect it, yeah. And two, because sometimes when it's said it may not be sort of true and meaningful. So I think the have a nice day syndrome is just is irrelevant in terms of the name have a nice day. I think it's more about just being interested in your customer.
You mentioned how important you felt about it. You felt that the States were ahead of us. You felt, okay, fair enough, you know, it could be perceived as cheesy, but live with it because the underlying principles are far more important than that. Yeah. And I found that very interesting. What I guess I'm going to do now is ask you the $6 million question, which is more about, well, okay, based on its importance, what do you think what can we do about it? You know, what would be the strategy? What can we do?
Okay, well, I go back to my days working for a burger chain, American burger chain, when I was a student. You know, it kept me in a car, kept me going to university, and it was simple fundamentals that this burger chain employed, and I think that's the answer, which is you employ people on the basis of customer service. So you get people in who will be good with customers and who've got the right attitude. You can actually obviously train up the skill, but the will is something you need to get right from the outset. So if people know what they're signing up for in terms of a job, that they're going to be serving customers, yeah, then I think that's 80% of it.
Were there any sort of common traits in people that made them innately good at customer service? Was there anything in their background or education, or was there a magic, you know?
It's definitely not education, because actually instead of recruiting people that were accountants to serve on bank counters, all of a sudden we were recruiting people who actually didn't pass any exams, but they were just naturally good at conversations, talking to people. So it was just a natural thing to talk to people. So I think personality, those kind of characteristics, personal skills are much more important than sort of academics.
Okay. How important is the manager of those stores, outlets, you know, in this?
Well, I think you're looking at the same formula really, because that manager might have been employed to do something different. You know, okay. Culture has moved on. So if that manager is an accountant, that manager, if they cannot live and breathe good customer service, what kind of role model are they going to set?
I was interested in some of the research that's done by the Customer Service Institute, that we're only hitting 66% across the board in satisfaction levels. I mean, which is I guess, unacceptable, bearing in mind with the Olympics, commerce and everything, London being seen as a financial centre, with all that opportunity of spend, as it were. So you talked about some of the issues. We've talked about a little bit about how important managers are. But what about the values people have when they attach to them? How can we almost change people's values then about how they approach this whole issue?
I think as industries become more and more competitive, business should drive that change in values. If you're talking from a business perspective, because I think from a customer perspective, it's probably pretty similar. I've got more choice. Customers have got more choice. It's harder to get those customers to transact with you to get their business. So ultimately, in any business plan, there should be what do we need to do to get more customers or to get more from our customers. And clearly service is one. And I think one of the misconceptions is service and sales, because I think they're the same thing.
Okay, that's interesting. What do you think can be improved in recruitment then? What sort of areas you'd like to see improve?
I think looking for experience in terms of the first vet and actually the assessment. The assessment being more role play based rather than pure boards where you have to, presentations are quite a good thing because presentations on a one-on-one or a group do show good characteristics in a person, but actually some of the testing that's done that I've had to go through and I would not want to do again, may find out some things, but when it comes to customer service, they don't tell you what you need to know.
Yeah. And what you need to know is?
The type of person, how they react with customers, how they react in situations, and also if you do it rigorously, you'll find out whether they actually enjoy it or not. I think some of the things with recruitment is people do rehearse and over-rehearse, and really you need to get them in a natural zone to find out what they really like and get down past that sort of hard exterior that they've put on just to try and get them the job.
Yeah.
Maybe even giving them a trial.
That's an interesting one. So I guess coming back again to sort of almost like a summary question, it's the old magic wand thing. If you had a magic wand, you know what's coming. What do you feel good customer service looks and feels like?
Okay, so good customer service is having the right soft things, the right smile, the right look in the eyes, looking genuine. Looking in somebody's eyes is more important than actually what you say, and then how you say it in terms of the right tone, and treating customers as individuals, not being a machine with the same questions and trying to flog or having no interest, not being disturbed. It's simple.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's how you're treating me and how I'm treating you. As a person.
Yeah.
I think you'd put your customer service, your mystery shopper program, on that basically.
Yeah.
Or do some research. How do people want to be treated? Like individuals, feeling like they're being served by somebody that wants to serve them. That in a nutshell.
I think that's a really good and interesting point as well, that being served by someone that wants to do it. That's a really interesting one. Okay, I'd like to thank you for spending some time with us. As you can see, it's a completely genuine environment. We are really in the back of a cab, and we really are speaking. Okay, thank you very much for that today.
You're welcome.